Hey guys, Marvel here, and today I'm going to be talking about Geometry Dash and its history / update. So, the first thing I'm going to go over is some who created Geometry Dash. So, Geometry Dash was created by a company called RobTop, RobTop Games, which is owned by one guy named Rob or Robert. So he created it, and he does all the upkeeping and stuff to the game and updates it. When it first came out, it was actually called Geometry Jump. So it changed after. So yeah, let's get right into it. So Robert was born on February 23rd, 1987, and also referred to RobTop. Anyway, so he was on Newgrounds, so probably why he used Newgrounds as the music platform. He's a Swedish game developer who involves himself in programming, animation, and music production. He's the founder of RobTop Games and has created the mobile games Boomling Matchup, Memory Mine Mastermind, Geometry Dash and its light version, and expansions Geometry Dash Meltdown and Geometry Dash World. So yeah, that's a bit about RobTop. Okay, now we're gonna go on to the release dates of the updates. So let's start off. So in the first update, 1.0, which came out in August 2013, there were 7 levels up to Jumper. And then when 1.1 came out in October 2013, they added in Time Machine, which added in the mirror mode or whatever. And then soon after that, or I'm not soon after that, but after that, 1.11 came out where you could comment on levels. And then 1.12 came out where you could use the Everplay ability, which I think was on the, what do you call it? I think it was on mobile, because I'm pretty sure Steam version came out later. Anyway, so moving on. So the next update that came out was Cycles, and that was 1.2 for October 2013. And nothing, just the level and the features for that. And then 1.2 I didn't have anything for that. Oh no, 1.2. Demons were added in 1.2. Moving on, 1.3 added in X steps, and 1.3 came out in November 2013. And in 1.3, a new leaderboard system was devised. 1.4 was Clutterfunk, and that came out in December 2013. And also, you could now customize your ships to a few different other icons, because before that you couldn't. So this was the first level that unlocked a ship. So that's cool. 1.5. Theory of Everything, which gave you voting for stars. I think it also gave you stars. I'm pretty sure it gave you stars on the levels itself, and you can now also vote for stars and ratings on them online levels. So, and 1.5 came out in January 2014. So that was the first 2014 update. Now, 1.6 added in Electromad Adventures and Club Step, and that came out in March 2014, and that was when the first demon came out in the game for, like, not the first demon, but the first demon in the kind of campaign series. Also, coins were added into all the levels, secret coins, so you could unlock them, and map packs came out, so you could get map packs and complete map packs. Now, let's move on to the next Electrodynamics, which is 1.67, which is what came out in May 2014, and that just added in speed. Obviously, nothing too much new. 1.8 came out in August 2014, and that added in the double mode and the slopes. And moving on, 1.9 added in blast processing and Theory of Everything 2, which was the second daemon, and that came out in November 2014. And that added in custom music, so you could now have music from Newgrounds instead of just the soundtracks, I think. And I think also more map packs were added, and a bunch of other stuff, but anyway. And obviously the wave mode, which is a big thing now. Moving on, we have 2.0, which came out in August 2015. And that added in Geometrical Dominator and Deadlocked, which is the third daemon. And that added a ton of stuff, like moving objects, ton of stuff like that. And you can plus that. You can check that out, and you can see what stats, like how many attempts it took me to beat, how many jumps, and stuff like that. Okay, moving on to 2.0, which added in a lot of stuff, and that came out in January 2017, and it added in Finger Dash and a lot of other stuff, including this Chamber of Time, and also it added in daily rewards. It added in quests, daily levels, gauntlets, Hall of Fame, treasure room, which you can unlock new chests and get rewards. And it just a lot of stuff. So, moving on, let's quickly look at the icon. So, this is where you have all your stuff. And this shows where you have your shards, which you can, for unlocking the new, what do you call it? The new icons. Icons here. Yeah, 3 pages of icons. And then you've got all your different icons. And in 2.2, 2.1 I mean, all the death effects came out. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, also the shop. We've got the shop in 2.1, which you could now buy things. Let's buy those, because why not? There we go. Okay. And I forget when it came out, when you could have accounts. I'm just saving my account. But that came out at some point. And the next thing I'm going to go over is editor tutorial. So I'm just going to do a quick editor tutorial, and that's just going to be on what is this one? I'm going to do it on not this one. I'm going to do it on tutorial level. That's a good one. I'm going to do it on group. I'm going to do a quick group tutorial because groups can be a little bit confusing. So I'm just going to start ahead of this level to make it a little bit easier. And I'm also going to get rid of this. So I am planning to do a tutorial series in the future, but I'm just going to do this group tutorial because it's a kind of important thing for stuff. Now, let's start off. Let's get down a start point here so we can start our level here. So the first thing we're going to do is have the things that use groups, which are a lot of things, but the main ones are toggle, rotate. These are the main ones, the ones that I use the most, but there are more and there are other ones. So yeah, and let's do shake. So starting off, we want to move, rotate, change the opacity of a certain group. So we're going to make a quick group just with basic blocks because we're making a basic level in this one, but we have a basic thing, and I'm going to actually duplicate this and have it below as well, just so that we can move it to different things. So I'm going to have it like this. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make it move. But what I need to do first is actually need to take this object, whole object that I want to have, edit group. I'm going to add a group ID. You can either hit next free, so the next free group, or you can give it an ID of 1 or something like that. Add it. So now this group has a group ID of 1. So anything that we want to do to it, we have to use the group ID of 1. So let's move it. Let's give it a target group ID of 1. So now we're moving that. First of all, let's go to X, Y. So X would be left and right, and Y would be up and down. So we're going to move it up, so plus by 1. And every 10 steps is 1 block. Now, next thing we're going to do is easing. So we'll have it bounce out, and then the move time is going to be half a second, which is good. And yeah, so now that should work. So now that when we go by it, it's gonna do that. So let's do it. So 1 second. So you can see that and we could actually have multiple, like we could have 3 groups, and then let's just edit this, get rid of that and give it a group 2, edit this one, give it a group 3 and get rid of the group 1, and now we have 3 groups. So we could now, I'm just gonna actually move these all back, and this one's gonna be here. Let's copy and paste that and give this one a group 2 and give that a group 3. Okay, so that should work. Except that we want it to be kind of an upwards thing, and these are all going to go back 1 because I think that would work a little bit better. So now if we go out, we will move 1, 2, and 3. So now we're going to go and do that. So yeah, pretty cool. There we go. We got moving blocks. We can move it. Now, when we move it, let's do this last one. I'm going to copy and paste this and have it when it's right here. And then this is going to be group 3, and we're going to have it lock to player Y. There we go. Yeah, not lock player X. So that's going to go left and right. It's going to lock to that, and we'll have it move 1,000 blocks actually. There we go, because you can type in more. Ooh. What the heck? Let's try that. That would be 100 blocks maybe. I'm not sure why that's only doing it a little bit. Oh, if I just do that, that shouldn't matter. There we go. 0. Let's try that. There we go. There we go. Let's try that. That's pretty cool. So, there we go. Now, we have ourselves a following, or it doesn't really matter. It will do it for us. But now we have a thing that's following us. So, we're going to use the toggle next, which is a pretty cool thing. And what this is going to do, let's set this to group 4. And this is going to deactivate a group. So let's give these 2 spikes a group of 4. There we go. And that's going to toggle right there. So when we except that we need that to be part of group 1 as well, because then it will move up with it. If you saw, it wasn't moving up. But that now the toggle needs to be one back so that we can actually do it. So if you want now, there we go. So now we have ourselves the toggle working. Now, let's do shake. So what the shake does, strength, how much strength you want the shake to be. Let's have the shake at 3. Intervals, let's do an interval of every, I think that's every 0.2 seconds, every 10th second, it's going to do interval. Duration, let's do the duration for a minute. Wait, actually, if we do full strength, okay, there we go. Now, I want to see what this looks like. Yeah, so if we play that, so yeah, except we want the duration to be longer. Yeah, so it's kind of cool. It kind of shakes it around. So we use that alpha. So let's set the middle one to be group 5. Okay. Now alpha. It's gonna fade out here. It's gonna fade out right here. So it's gonna, the fade time is that. Let's do 6. Okay, opacity is gonna fade right to nothing, and that's gonna be group 5. Let's do 1 second fade time. Okay, and you see it just fades right away. So we'd actually want to have that a faster fade time, like 0.5. So now it's gonna fade, which is pretty cool. So the last one is rotate, which we're gonna do, and let's set that to group, target group, center group, both group 6. So yeah, and we're gonna have, we'll just test it. So we're gonna jump right there, and we're gonna have a rotating spike. Give the center group a group 6. And then, so the center, yeah, now, let's not times 0, 1 time. It's just going to rotate 360 degrees. There we go. There we go. That should work now. Yeah, see? Except that we want it to be back, and we want it to start rotating back there. Times be like 10, and then move time being way longer, like 5 seconds. Or no, 10 seconds. So 1 per second. There we go. It should be better. So yeah, you can see that now it's rotating. So yeah, you have to jump over that now, you can see. So yeah, there we go. We've used all of the things. We've used all of the main ones. So that was the quick editor tutorial for groups. And let's just go back to the next thing, which I want to talk about Demon Park, which I'm just going to go and find. That's not right. Come on. Okay. Demon Park. Demon Park, I have 33% on it. But anyway, Demon Park is the first demon, and that came out in, I think, 2.2 or 1.2, I mean. And it was the hardest level at that time. When players weren't as good, it was really hard, right? So for them, it was super hard, and like, you know what I mean? So it was really hard. So they had to give a new rating, which back then I think the hardest was Insane. It might even have been harder, and then it went right from harder to Insane, but I don't know. So this actually got a kind of it's bigger than it looks, because this inspired the name Demon, which they probably only would have picked that name Demon because of the name Demon Park. So this Demon actually inspired the name Demon Park. So basically, this inspired every single demon that has any sort of demon. I mean, probably there would still be. Okay, there probably still would be like some demon-ish looking, but Clubstep, if you notice the beginning of that level, there's like demon faces. Those probably wouldn't have been there. And following like all of the levels that were made after Clubstep, like there were so many. So Demon Park really inspired a lot of different stuff. So this was the mother of all demons. Even though it's now considered a easy demon, back then it was considered a really hard level. So yeah, that is some cool stuff about Demon Park. So Demon Park is a really cool one, and I guess there's Demon Park remixes, but doesn't really make sense. But anyway, yeah, so there's lots of stuff around Demon Park. Like, if we go to play Clubstep, you can see there's a demon face right there, and that probably wouldn't have been there. And I don't even know what would come out if Demon wasn't, because I'm sure that Rob Top would have made a hard level coming up. So I'm not sure what would have happened without Demon Park to kind of inspire it. But I'm sure that there would have been some sort of inferior maybe rating. I don't know though. So it inspired quite a lot of stuff, like a lot of big hard levels might not have been. I mean, sure, there still would have been like hell themed levels and stuff like that, but yeah. And this was so long ago, like update like 1.2 or 1.2. This is, I think that's when Demon Park was in. So it was a while ago. So, you know, it's a pretty old level. But, you know, I would say that it was cool to have something like that to kind of inspire a lot of the demon. Now, I'm gonna move on, and this is the topic of 2.2, which hasn't come out when I released this video. There's been some sneak peeks, which we know that there's going to be a swing copter mode, which is basically just where every time you click or tap, it's going to change the gravity, which I mean, it's not a huge one, but you can actually make that mode already with a double ball, and you just have one on the upper side with a bunch of those whatevers. I don't know, a bunch of those gravity flip cubes. But yeah, so 2.1 is still got a lot of unfinished stuff. But yeah, that was my Geometry Dash tutorial slash group tutorial slash, what do you call it, history and information about Geometry Dash. So yeah, hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys all later.